After getting a whole 5 hours of sleep, we were back at it. If you haven't watched the previous video, 8th grade, Washington DC, school trip, chaos, national anthem. Great, we're on the same page now. While waking up at 4 a.m. works for David Tate and Andrew Goggins, it is not what my body needs. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, teenagers, if you want to get good sleep, you're screwed. Ready for breakfast, we walked down the emergency stairs. Because of course the elevators were broken. Fun times. We had breakfast at the hotel. Eggs, pancakes, cereal, the usual. Only instead of 9 a.m. in PJs with your mom, it's 5:45 and your fit could protect you from frostbite in Antarctica. Antarctica. I have no idea how to pronounce that, I'm just sticking with it. On the bus to Gettysburg, we were already freezing. If you thought yesterday was cold, well, you'd be right. But also today is worse. Hand warmers were worth their weight in gold. I'm so glad I brought them. If you live around here, maybe this is normal, but us California kids, we were hanging on for dear life. Speaking of cool things.
Welcome to the largest military diorama in the United States. The diorama is historically accurate, depicting the 3 days of Gettysburg with over 20,000 hand-painted soldiers, horses, cannons, wagons, and buildings.
There was just so much detail, a few video clips could never begin to describe how much work and effort was put into this thing. Even better than the diorama was the gift shop, or rather, gift shops, plural. Upstairs, I got a very manly hat. Also one of those light-up gift tag... Also one of those light-up name tag things that said Chad on it, because that's my real name. Downstairs, though. Downstairs is where it's at. I started off by buying a copy of the Treaty of Paris, because everybody needs one of those. In addition to American history stuff, they also had an absolutely unapologetic, diabolic, hyperbolic, downright blasphemous quantity of nerd junk. I'm talking walls of Funko Pops. One of them looked disturbingly close to a chaperone on the trip, so in an utter abandonment of rational thought, I bought her the $18 piece of plastic, without hesitation. They also had a few, and by that I mean a whole wall, of those vintage old-timey signs. Most of them were just a bit spicy, but this one stood out to me. It conveys such a deep feeling, without words or images. Sadly though, it wasn't for sale. Look, I wouldn't want to part with such a great piece either. We couldn't stay for long, because our next stop was the cyclorama.
Cyclorama.
For those who don't know what that is, imagine looking at a panorama in a Vision Pro, but for real. It was being renovated, and I don't know about you, but that took all of my attention. Just look at them. After that, we watched a history documentary about the Battle of Gettysburg. As somewhat of a content creator myself, I couldn't help but critique every minute editing decision. I kept it in my head though. Mostly. At least I think I did. I cut out a joke about the History Channel, but I'm sure you can figure it out. Back on the bus, Doc gave us an ultimatum. We could either go on an hour-long cemetery hike, for real this time, or stay on the bus while he got KFC. In a unanimous vote, we chose to go with Doc. Well, that is except for one kid. Bill I really wanted to go. Naturally, we used our persuasive skills to hold him back. Here's what that sounded like. Boo! L. Bill! Boo! Doc or death! Boo! If anyone asks, the chaperone started it. Actually, I think they might have. That's one of the things I was surprised about on this trip. On top of being our teachers, they were also having fun on vacation. Instead of going with Doc as we planned, we got let out in Gettysburg. Now, I was just planning to walk around and sit it out. But at that moment, a certain sign with the most delicious-looking ice cream caught my attention. In a feeble attempt at comedy, I said to the chaperone next to me, "It's limited edition, we have to." And he responded, "Well, I mean, we need to support local businesses, help out the economy." I was on the floor. I'll demonstrate that for you. Wait, no, I did that last episode, you guys already know. This stone-cold former police officer is going on and on about getting ice cream. I mean, seriously, how much more chill can you get? Who cares if it's 23 and feels like 17? Ice cream is for all seasons. Ice cream was meant for the cold. It doesn't melt, and you're already adjusted to the temperature. Also, it's good. Need I say any more? The door opened with that little jingle bell, you know the one. Smells immaculate. Vibes peak. We had found the Holy Land, and the Holy Land's name is Kilwins. I, of all people, know what the Civil War was really about. Kilwins. You kill, and you win. See? Simple. After filling up on ice cream that we ate on some random guy's porch, we walked about 50 feet to lunch. It was some fancy old place, right out of the 1800s and smelled like heaven. However, as it turned out, people in the 1800s weren't eating so good. They did have the best croutons in the world though, so I guess that's something. Back on the bus, it was time for a 2-hour tour of Gettysburg Battleground. And not to bore you, but the numbers are just insane. 7 million shots fired, cannons that could shoot upwards of 2 miles. Occasionally we would get out of the bus, only to be greeted by 20-mile-an-hour winds and below freezing temperature. Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I would give you more sensory details, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. After that 2-hour cold plunge, we finally drove back to DC. Doc tried to host trivia for prizes again, but we were wiped. He didn't force it though. It was past school hours anyways. Seriously, what a cool guy. But when someone did get a question right, "I'm looking at you, Bill I," he would say, "I see Ivy League in your future." On the bus, some of the teachers played a game. I don't know what it's called. Basically, you have to find a word outside the bus that starts with the letter A, and that no one else has called yet. Then B, C, D, and so on until someone reaches Z and wins the game. I don't remember if there was a winner. It's a long game. So I emailed a teacher. I'll make a community post on it if I get a response. For dinner, we went to some lame seafood place. Apparently we had pre-ordered what we wanted a few months ago. We all figured that because a random seafood place has about a 50% chance of giving you food poisoning, it wasn't worth it. Burgers would be the safest bet, and yeah, that's what everybody got. I don't trust those people to make seafood. After dinner, we went to the Washington Monument and the lake with the big pointy thing at the end. I was trying to get pictures, but this big guy in a chair kept photobombing me. I wasn't the only one trying to take pictures. I was almost late getting back to the bus because of it. It's not hyperbole when I say we were booking it. Call me Usain Bolt going 20 over the limit in a school zone. When I got on the bus, well, we were the first ones there. Literally. Only Doc. Not even the teachers were back yet. By the agreed upon return time, the bus was only about a third full. It was maybe 10 minutes later when everybody was on the bus and the chaperones could take roll call. Everyone was back, except my teammates. When life gives you lemons, it doesn't. I called one of them while my chaperone called the other. Of course, I had to give them a hard time. Where are you? We're on the bus. You literally are not! They got on the wrong bus. Bro, how? It was parked the whole time. Did not move an inch. Run! Where? This way or we're leaving without you. The whole time I could hear wind growing through their mics. If I was Usain Bolt, they were the whole damn US Air Force. Only like an hour behind. And then my chaperone was like, "Everyone, when they get on the bus, boo them." And then I was like, 3, 2, 1, boo! Get off the stage! Boo! But of course, no matter how mad they were, they still got the boom shakalaka treatment. Wait, I still haven't told you about boom shakalaka? Okay, so basically, since day one when you got on the bus, Doc would give you a fist bump. Instead of being lame, he would yell, "Boom shakalaka!" And naturally, everyone would say it back. Everyone that's cool, that is. On the way back to the hotel, Doc asked the bus, "What was the coolest part of today?" Gettysburg, kill wins, etc. Me. The Dalai Lama. Okay, the diorama. Yeah, the Dalai Lama. Hey, what's your name again? Patrick. And he said back to me, "Patrick, I don't see Ivy League in your future, son." Everyone's cracking up, but I was not gonna take that. So I said, "Hey, I was the only person in my group that didn't get on the wrong bus. Y'all can't say nothing." And Doc says back to me, "Patrick, take a prize." Who do you think you are? I am! That is all.